play action here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Whitney Merciless coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And it'll be 3rd and 10. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Gone. Detroit.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his first look is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down.
Richmond. 4 down. Set. Back 22.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Catch here, left side, Thomas. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. They'll run here. It's Murray. A pickup of 5 that time and a 1st down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah. These aren't bare bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. A 1st down carry now for Miller. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Black 99 Philly. Tiger.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Magoo back to throw. Staying on his feet. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
3rd and 2, Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch it now, Barney. Hurry up, here we go. 3.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Gone!
Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. Now Magoo. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd is Watson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Come back. 2 jet.
Out of the gun, Watson. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure. He's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's got Allen, and he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Going for the deep ball. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Magoo looking to throw it. Going deep for Benjamin. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
After the interception, here's Watson. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kaiser White. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there and set and change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, here we go.
Magoo. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
319! 319! Back 99 Philly, here we go! Detroit! 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 Detroit!
To throw is Magoo. And this is complete. It's Allen. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Second and goal from the 1. He's going to get it running right. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. Extra point splits the uprights. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Butker now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Spins past it. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On 2nd and 10, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. He got 29 yards that time. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout.
Come back, come back. Down.
Now a first down throw. Watson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyler Davison coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Richmond. Switch.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 26 yards on the play there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I just came out of my chair. Big-time run right there, and all of a sudden I realized...
Didn't reach the chains, did he?
How do you go that far? Create that type of an explosive play that'll be a check and a plus on every grade sheet and still not get a first down.
Yeah, they had put themselves in a bad spot, but a big gain, that helps. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Whitney Merciless in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing here, Magoo. And a big loss here as as he's taken down. J.J. Watt in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll throw now on the final play. He's airing it out for Williams. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we have reached halftime. Intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Off of play action, it's Watson. He'll buy some time right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call. And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago. He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. No gain, and it's 2nd down. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance. I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10. I would expect to see some pressure here. And the blitz does come. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined. I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense as the scouting report? There goes Melvin Gordon. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit. The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes. And he almost flirted with disaster there, but it does get into the end zone before going out, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson on 1st down. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Melvin Ingram. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Richmond.
From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Melvin Ingram in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Tiger.
Operating from the gun. Watson shedding the tackle. Underneath from Miller. And some space here. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Gun!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Over.
Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. They're going to look to throw. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now out out comes Houston.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out come the Chargers.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something.
He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 39. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Magoo back to throw. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep blow with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Magoo. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On is the Chargers punter now. He's been terrific so far. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Watson over the middle. It's Thomas. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So that throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Reset.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
Reset. Tiger.
On 1st down, Watson. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Again, it's Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans draw a bit closer. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Gordon on first down. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Gordon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. On play action, they'll throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. The 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Richmond. Reset.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. So naturally they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Tiger. Set.
He's back to throw. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Richmond.
Tenth carry now for Lamar Miller. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Two jet.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Watch him now, Barney. Now let's go.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Hurry up, here we go.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And here comes the Texans now. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow.
Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Now Watson. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this 4th quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. back to throw. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And it's a touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well and end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. They were trying to go back to Allen there, and it's 3rd down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Back to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the 4th quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that, because when you have a lead in the 4th quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their locker room.
So for Houston, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they too will exit with a 2-1 record.
you